Okay, so what are some little things that someone could do to help relieve stress?
It actually ties right into what we were talking about. I'm not sure if they realize that we were talking about increasing our awareness of what we have going on in our life. And so one of my favorite things that I love to talk about, anybody that I ever work with, my family, my patients, is mindfulness practices. And mindfulness is such a broad term, and we're going to try to just touch on it a little bit. And if you're interested, I encourage you to do some research and explore it on your own. But for today, we'll just say mindfulness is increasing our awareness of our present moment. What exactly do we have going on in our lives? I don't think that we realize how on autopilot we become, because like Sarah was mentioning earlier, we all have such full plates. I don't know if y'all are like the rest of us, but we play a lot of different roles in our lives. And switching from role to role and juggling and managing everything, we kind of just keep moving forward, right? And so we're experiencing this disconnection with ourselves emotionally. And so mindfulness practices are a way for us to bring attention and focus to what exactly is going on right now. What am I experiencing? What is my body communicating with me? Because that's one thing that we miss often is these cues that we have before we get to that burnt out stage. Normally when we meet with people, I would say especially at my level, on an inpatient level, they are pretty burnt out. They're emotionally overwhelmed. They're experiencing, all of these other signs and symptoms of mental health diagnosis. And not that we could prevent that necessarily, but can we help them manage their symptoms a little bit more effectively? And so with mindfulness practices, it is increasing our ability to be in the here and now, and not to be so future focused or even in the past. And so it helps us to be, I would say, responding to situations versus being reactive. Y'all don't have to raise your hands or anything, but has anybody in here ever not really felt good about how they navigated through a tough situation? Maybe what we said or what we did? Yeah, I usually kind of raise mine right here. And so that's from a place of reactivity, meaning that something happened, we had that knee-jerk reaction. And so mindfulness just helps us to notice when we're frustrated, when we're really stressed, and so to hopefully reduce the times that we are quick to react and we don't feel good. And a couple of my favorite mindfulness activities that I share with people is we call it our paced breathing, and that allows us to shift our attention, our focus to the rate and the depth of our breath. And so it normally will be, breathing in our bellies. So sometimes we put our hand on our belly here. We breathe in really deeply to a count of 4, and we may exhale to a count of 8. And I won't get into all the reasons why that rate is important, but it's doing something with our bodies. It's helping to get us back balanced. So our paced breathing, if we do that for about 2 minutes, it will help our bodies sort of relax and calm down, which allows us to think a little bit clearer. So that's one tool you have. I encourage you to look it up, is our paced breathing. Another tool I'll share with you is we call this a grounding exercise. So it's bringing us here in the moment. And the way that we do that is we use what's in our environment. And so we look for, what are 5 things that I can see right now? What are 4 things that I can hear in my environment? What are 3 things that I can physically touch? What are 2 things that I may be able to smell? And so we get creative here: lotions, essential oils. And then the last one is, what's 1 thing that I can taste right now? And it may seem like, well, Tanya, how's that helpful with mindfulness and my awareness of the present moment? But I encourage you to look up those 2 tools and see if they may be helpful for you. But again, it's increasing what's going on right now. What are tools that I can use that are going to bring me back to the here and now? And you have 2 already today that you can take home with you. So
I'd like to add a third one: progressive muscle relaxation.
Yes, that's
I think that for me personally, I don't pay attention to what's going on with my body. And before I know it, I'm sick, or I have a migraine, or I can barely turn my head because my neck is so sore. And progressive muscle relaxation is a way to pause time and focus on each muscle in your body. And, when you have muscle tension, that can lead to pain in your body and migraines and headaches. For me personally, at the end of the day, sometimes it's like I have a softball right here on my shoulder. Like, you can feel it. It's so tense because people tend to hold stress in their body. Like, if you feel stressed, you might not even realize it, but I might be holding my arm stiff, and holding stress right there. And I know that I do it. I'm aware of it. So progressive muscle relaxation is the way to really pay attention to each part of your body and to flex that muscle and release that stress that you're holding. It's very simple to do it. You can do it anywhere. You can do it at home, in your office, at work, in your car. You just start at your toes and you work your way up to your head, and you just keep going up through the muscles in your body. And hold your shoulders up when you get to your shoulders, and then let go. And then when you let go, like, you just feel this huge relief over your body, because we so often just ignore the stress that's manifesting in our body.